Hello and welcome to my lessons. This video is one of a series of lessons that aim to improve the everyday vocabulary, listening, grammar, and pronunciation of English language learners. In each lesson, we can listen to many English speakers with different accents. The lessons also include relevant exercises and quizzes. Everything spoken is transcribed, so you can read and listen to the content at the same time if you wish. For your convenience, various chapters on the timeline are given after this introduction. If you find this lesson useful, please like, share, and subscribe. When we want to ask a conditional or hypothetical question, we use a modal verb and an if clause. One modal verb commonly used for this purpose is would, which is also used when we answer the question. Now time to listen to some answers to a hypothetical question. What would you do if you won $1 million in a quiz game?
Well, if I ever did, I'd like to buy a lot of snazzy clothes and would, of course, buy special presents for my family.
Well, I've always been frugal, so I'd keep the money in the bank for a while. I wouldn't rush into spending it.
I'd hire a top-notch boxing coach to train and prepare me for major professional matches. Yep, that's all I would do. Oh well, I might buy a new push bike and new boxing gear and a new... oh no, that's all. Better not get carried away, eh?
If I won $1 million, I'd buy a house and donate a little to a worthy cause. I'd like to give a hand to poor children who don't get the chance to go to school.
Well, I would first organise a lavish dinner party to celebrate the windfall with friends and colleagues. And knowing my dad, I'm sure the very next day he'd ring me up and offer financial advice. Well, he's not just my dad, he's a successful businessman, so I'd be a fool not to follow his advice.
At the moment, I'm flat out trying to catch up with studies for exams and can't think of that now. But if I ever had that much cash, I sure wouldn't be sitting here in the library. One thing I know I'd buy for sure is buckets of ice cream. Any flavour would do.
I'd quickly buy a black Jaguar and with a few close friends would drive out of town to somewhere quaint and cosy.
Wow, I'd be too excited to stop dancing, man. I'd of course make a night of it and take my wife out for dinner and dance. I'd try to keep it to myself first and wait for the right moment to tell her about the serious dough. Yeah, but then again, I'd be too excited not to tell her right away.
If I ever had that much money, I would donate a big chunk of it to children who are hard of hearing around the world. I was taught sign language to talk to my parents, who happen to have a hearing impairment, and so now I am bilingual.
What? $1 million? Is that all?
There'll be so many things to do with that much money.
Too many to bother to mention.
Well, if we win that, we'll just do what we do best.
Yeah, we'll keep clowning around.
Only we'll laugh a lot more seriously.
The following questions are about the vocabulary used by the speakers. Verb forms for future actions. When we talk about actions, events, plans and intentions in the future tense, we have a few choices of verb forms. So let's have a quick look at these choices and the reasons we choose to use them. We use the future simple form to show strong will, beliefs in, or certainty about actions or events that happen in the future. We can use the future simple when we decide presently to do something in the near future. We can also use be going to when showing intention, as well as prediction based on evidence. We can use the future continuous to show that something happens in the future, both before and after a specific time. We can also use it to show intentions and plans. We can also use the present continuous when an event is already arranged to happen in the near future. We also use the present simple when we know about the future in advance. For instance, when an event is scheduled or is a regular event. When we refer to the future, we often use such verbs as want, like, would like, wish, expect, hope. When we are not sure about actions in the future, we can use such modals as may, might, could, should. Shall is mostly used to suggest an action or ask permission. Future perfect and future perfect continuous will be studied in a future lesson. Now, time to listen to what some people say about their plans for the future and how they see themselves in 15 years' time. The words written in green will be asked about later in the quiz.
Well, I'm studying nursing now, and I'll graduate in 2 years. Then I'm going to get a job and start working. In 15 years' time, I guess I'll still be living here in my hometown, and hopefully, through hard work, I'll be the chief nurse in the same hospital I was born in. And I'll probably be married to an awesome professional by then. And no, not necessarily to a doctor.
Well, I have a few plans. I want to build a house in a special place up in the hills. After that, I'm going to marry my girlfriend and start a family. That's simple. And no, I haven't proposed to her yet, but I will. And yes, I'm sure she will say yes.
I don't have a long-term plan yet, but I'm travelling overseas soon. In fact, in 3 days and 4.5 hours, on Tuesday morning at 6:15 to be exact, but who's counting?
I will naturally first complete my studies, then find a high-paying job, work hard and build a solid career. Then, and only then, I will marry a good, hard-working family man worthy of me. Raise good children, and yeah, I see myself living in a big, squeaky clean house and driving the latest SUV.
Well, I'm a beach lover, and I'm actually planning to buy a beach house. So, in 15 years, I'll probably be living in my comfortable house with a handsome beach-loving gentleman who will genuinely love me and go swimming with me.
Well, I'll probably be doing what I usually do, more or less. I busk with my buddies in town in the morning, and in the evening we have a gig in a tavern downtown. I'd say we are a goodish band and draw a good crowd down there. This is a tourist town, so we do all right busking, and it's fun, which is more important than the few bucks we make when we busk.
I know I'll be running my own modelling agency, so in 15 years' time I see myself as a prosperous professional living in a mansion in a posh, leafy suburb. And yeah, I'm sure I'm going to have a successful, suave partner too.
In 15 years' time, I see myself having a career, a good partner and doing some travelling with him. That'll be awesome.
Oh man, I've had so many plans you wouldn't believe, but so far none of them have come true. But I won't give up. You know, life's a bumpy road, only it's bumpier for some than it is for others. But to be honest, I don't know about 15 years from now, but I do know that in 15 seconds I must do a U-turn and park the car. And that's my plan at hand.
My family owns a big farm and I'm an only child, so in 15 years I'll be helping them with running the farm. I grew up on the farm and my parents have been showing me the ropes since I was a child, and I like living in the countryside.
I'm a professional athlete and I train regularly with my personal trainer, so hopefully in 15 years, once I eventually stop competing, I might be interested in opening the big gym. And if I do, I'll definitely make it very affordable for those who have less.
Well, I'm now getting married to a lovely, wealthy man, so I'll of course see myself married with 2 children in 15 years, probably working part-time. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my honeymoon. 15 years is a long way ahead.
Well, I'll be retiring in 2 years, and when I do, I'll move down the coast to my holiday house at the beach. I'll play golf in the day, and in the evening sit on the porch with my wife, watch the sun go down, sip my pina colada and have dinner. And that's what I'll be doing for as long as I live.
A certain number of vowels and consonants, plus their various combinations, together make up the basic sounds of English. To speak clearly, the movement of speech organs has to be correct. The lips, tongue, teeth, and the jaw must be in the right positions. We learned in previous lessons about the 2 major areas of pronunciation. Segmentals being the vowels and consonants and their combinations, and suprasegmentals being the music of language, for example, stress, rhythm, intonation, etc. So now let's focus briefly on a few more pronunciation items. Silent consonants. Many words in English have consonants that are not pronounced. They are called silent consonants. Recognizing them in words helps with both pronunciation and spelling. Here are a few words with their silent consonants shown in red. Listen and repeat. Calm, seen, salmon, doubt, foreign, air, neck, kneel, dam, night, drought, scissors, plight, indict, psychic, gnaw, castle, bustle, listen, fasten. Syllable. A syllable is a unit of pronunciation with one vowel sound, with or without consonants around it. In order to recognize a syllable, we count the vowel sounds, not the vowels themselves. For example, the word read has two vowels, but only one vowel sound, or one syllable. Word stress shift. Words that have more than one syllable receive word stress. This means that we pronounce one of the syllables a bit more loudly and therefore with a slightly higher pitch. This stress placement can also show the grammar function of certain words with two syllables. For example, sometimes a word can be both a noun and a verb, or an adjective and a verb. In such cases, nouns and adjectives normally have the stress on their first syllables, whereas when they function as verbs, the stress is shifted onto the second syllables. The following example will make this stress shift clear. Stressed syllables are shown in red. Listen and repeat. Present, present. Object, object, subject, subject, suspect, suspect, perfect, perfect, address, address, refund, refund, export, export, import, import. The following questions are about the grammar and pronunciation explanations, plus the vocabulary used by the speakers.